Hello, and welcome back to episode 3 of Dark Souls 3 Guide to Git Good. That's what I've decided to call this series. And, yeah, we are continuing on the road of sacrifices, wasting absolutely no time here. When it comes to this area, there's not a lot going on. It's kind of like a little solo area that you have to do. You can't summon here or get invaded or anything. There's a couple little items, though, that you may want to grab, so we'll go ahead and get those before moving on to the Crucifixion Woods. The first one is if you're a strength build, you may want to come down here and kill this lady right here. If you are not a strength build, killing her is not necessary at all. She just drops her butcher's knife, which is an okay weapon. It's not super great, but if you're a dex build, you want to run down here and grab these Brigand Twin Daggers, which are the only set of dual-wielding daggers in the entire game. Let's see. They also scale in dex, I believe. I'm pretty sure the Twin Daggers scale primarily in dex. But anyway, we're going to run past these two Corvians right here. Go ahead and grab this Titanite Shard. Yeah, and then we're going to run over here and to the bridge. Now, instead of running across this bridge to the next bonfire, just come over here to the right and drop off here. Now, we can make our way down here to where these two dogs are. And one of these dogs is a unique dog. It's the only dog in the entire game that is, like, this dog. Oh god, I'm being eaten alive here. See how it's got like a big old sack? It looks like it's pregnant. It's got like a big old flesh sack hanging off of it, or a tumor or something, but kill those two. Make sure she doesn't jump on you and vomit on you, because that poisons you. Blah, blah, blah. And we're going to grab the Faith Tome and the Faith Ring. The Mourn's Ring increases miracles by, I want to say, 10% effectiveness. And we're just going to run past these Corvians. No point in fighting them. It's not really worth the souls or the trouble they give you. And we're going to rest here at the Halfway Fortress bonfire. This is the entrance to the Crucifixion Woods. And this area is where we are finally going to get the first coal in the game. The coal is necessary for infusing weapons with heavy and sharp. So that's going to be extremely useful no matter what your build is. So, make sure to talk to those two NPCs so that they will move to their next respective places. And we are going to make our way. Go ahead and drop down here so we can grab this soul. I'm actually going to take my blessed shield off and replace it with my knight shield so that I can fully block these dogs in this area. Don't really need the blessed shield anyway. It's not like I have any other stacks of blessed right now, so it's not really worth the extra regen yet. Now, I stabbed him because walking past him will automatically aggro him, so we might as well get the first free hit. Take out these two guys. Do I have any fire bombs or anything? No. Let's go ahead and use one of these human pine resins just to make this little guy right here a little bit simpler to kill. Come on, buddy. Roll past him. Wait for him to finish his bullshit. And then go for an R1 spam. Then we're going to back up. Wait for him to swing and punish. Okay. Now, we run straight in this room here, and this is the very first Black Knight from Dark Souls 1. You can farm these guys for their shield. It's the best shield in the game. You can farm them for their armor, which is an extremely solid medium armor set. And you can also farm him for his Ultra Greatsword, which is insanely powerful if you're on a strength build. They're very prone to rolling past them and then getting a free backstab, so just remember that strat. But they do hit extremely hard. We got our Estus back, and an extremely lucky drop. We got the Black Knight shield, so we now have the best shield in the game. This one is the only medium shield that requires an 18 on strength, though, so if we do want to wield this, we're going to need an 18 strength, so we will probably end up go ahead and getting that. I don't use the Black Knight shield, or any shield, really, very often. Like, they definitely have their uses, but, I try not to rely on shields. And I tell everyone try not to rely on shields, because getting yourself guard broken is the worst thing in the world, especially in PvP. You don't want to get guard broken and then riposted and killed because someone's wielding a Hornet Ring and just one-shots you, so we try to avoid that. So now that we've gotten the Farron Coal, we can now infuse any of our weapons with sharp or heavy, depending on what kind of build we're going to go for. Dex or strength. I think I'm going to keep doing Dex, to be 100% honest. I may switch to a strength build, but I doubt it, to be 100% honest. So we're going to go ahead and block this dog and punish. Oh, shit. I didn't know there was a tree guy over here. Go ahead and backstab him. Block the dog and punish. Go ahead and backstab this guy as well, so that we can grab the Titanite Shard. Oh, and this guy dropped the pike. I didn't even know those guys could drop the pike. That's actually maybe the first time I've ever gotten that. Interesting. Well, we learn something new every day, guys. Alright, so just run past these guys. We're just going to come over here and grab this Titanite Shard. And then we're going to go up here on the top of this little hill here and drop down on these guys so that we can get another Titanite Shard. And then roll past them and get away. I have just been invaded by another player because this area is a PvP Covenant area. So that guy's going to now try to eat my ass. Let's go ahead and light the bonfire here at Crucifixion so that if I die, this is where we'll spawn. And I don't know if that will alert him to the fact that I just lit that or not, but we're going to go over here and we're going to summon Hodrick. Now, Hodrick is a purple spirit. That means he will attack anyone and everyone. Go down here. We're going to grab this Estus Shard. Then we'll go over here, grab this Ember. This guy's going to put heavy pressure on us. So we'll go over here near Hodrick. He's trying to chase me with a spear. Parried him. Okay, so he's distracted by Hodrick now. While they're fighting, we're going to go over here. I can't tell, but I think he may be following me. Did he kill him? Yeah, Hodrick killed him. Either that or it was... Oh, no, he did kill him! And that, my guys, is why you summon Hodrick. Awesome. Now, Hodrick is not a white version of the Purple Spirit, so we cannot send him home, sadly. But Mr. Crabbo over there will definitely take out Hodrick for us, so we don't have to worry about that. So Hodrick just got slapped. He's now dead. We used Hodrick to our advantage to take out the Invader, because that version of Hodrick there that you summon is actually an incredibly powerful version of Hodrick. So he can absolutely deal some insane damage. Now we're going to grab this Golden Falcon Shield, and we're going to go over here and grab the souls. We will also run over here and grab the Fallen Knight Armor. If you guys are looking for a nice armor to switch to instead of wearing the Knight Armor or whatever you're wearing, this armor right here, the Fallen Knight Armor, is incredibly decent for how light it is. And it's also another sign that you're a new player if you wear that. Like, most new players, when they find that, they're going to switch to it because it's just kind of cool looking. But keep that in mind. It is decent. Alright, now what we can do is we can sit right here. That guy's going to kill himself. Let's go get his buddy. He's going to do almost the exact same thing. And those guys are easily dispatched using just simply getting on a ladder. Now be careful not to get on the ladder too soon, because if they climb onto the ladder while you're on it, they can actually knock you off the ladder and kill you. So keep that in mind as well. Alright, so before we progress any further on, we're actually going to head to Firelink Shrine, because there's one or two things here that we should probably do. It's not like super necessary, but I would go ahead and just do it, especially if you're new. First things first, we want to stop here and talk to her. Okay. Once we've talked to her, we're going to go back to the blacksmith here. Now, at the blacksmith, go ahead and reinforce your weapon to +3 if you haven't already. That will give you a +3 weapon, which is as far as we can actually upgrade currently. I think I'm going to upgrade this partisan as well, so I'll go ahead and use my extra shards to go ahead and get it +1. And yeah. Now, oh wait. We did get the Farron Coal, so make sure we give that to him. Now we can infuse to a dexterity-based sword. Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to take our longsword. We're going to put a sharp gem on it, which will boost the physical modifier up from 39 to 64. And we're going to lose just a tiny bit of our base damage, but we're getting a massive modifier boost, so it doesn't even matter. It ends up being more damage. And I will probably put one on the partisan as well. Go ahead and sharp infuse that, but I don't have one right now. We've only actually gotten one sharp gem so far. So let's go ahead and make sure our Estus is allotted correctly and give him my shards. That now puts us up to 8 Estus flasks. And we're going to buy 2 of these charcoal pine resins to help us kill some of these enemies coming up. Just a little bit easier, just a slightly damage boost, a slight damage boost. I cannot English today. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and pop the souls that we've collected thus far and use them to go ahead and level up. Now, I am not going to use boss weapons from the first 2 bosses. That would be the Tree and the Vort of the Boreal Valley bosses. So we're going to go ahead and pop those as well. Vort only gives you 2,000, but I think the Tree gives you like 5. Oh no, it only gives 3. So, well, it's not a big boost, but extra souls is extra souls, so we'll take it. Oh wait, before we level up, I forgot. We should probably go over here and just visit Grey Rat. See what he's got.
You're back and in one piece. Whatever trinket you need, speak up. Just don't ask me where I got them.
Give him Loretta's bone from the undead settlement that we collected off that body that was hanging up above.
Heavens. She was, thank you. Almost ready. You can keep us.
Okay, now we can purchase items. Now, if you started as any class that is not the knight, then you can now purchase you a longsword instead of having to farm one. If you didn't start as a cleric or the herald, you can now buy the mace and the spear, which is their starting weapon. But the reason we came here and what we want to get is we want to buy these 3 embers if you need them. He sells fire bombs infinitely for right now, so that's really good. But what we want is this elk horn round shield. I love this shield. I bless infuse and simple infuse that, so we're going to get 2 of them. I'm also going to gather 2 of these blood red moss clumps, just in case there's an emergency and I need to pop one. And also, here at the Handmaiden, we can go down and purchase ourselves a torch, which we will need coming up ahead. So make sure you go ahead and get a torch. We have 2 fire resins, so yeah, we're good to go. We got 2 elkhorn shields, and now we can level up. Now, if I just want to increase my damage and my survivability, I will just constantly keep dumping points into vigor and dexterity, because now I am a sharp gem build. Okay, that takes care of that, and I believe we are all set to head back and continue our journey. At the Farron Keep. Now that we have a +3 sharp infused straight sword. I wonder what our damage is now. I should have looked at a before and after so that we could see how much damage we actually gained from just going back. Let's go ahead and take a look though. Okay, right now we are dealing 203, which is honestly about half of what will end up at the end game. Because usually about end game, I think our damage on this sword is going to be about 400 and something. So we're not doing too bad for only having it +3 right now. It's pretty solid. Now, we don't have the ability to purchase poison moss clumps yet, so be careful running through this water. The water here will poison you if you sit around in it all day, and that's definitely not what you want, so be very careful. We're going to switch to the Fallen Knight armor just so I don't fat roll, because I do want to have this dagger on so that we can use the quick step feature in the deeper parts of the swamp. Grab that Estus shard right there, so now we can get up to 9 Estus flasks. And real quick, we're going to run up here. Be careful not to aggro both of these guys at the same time. Usually the one sitting down will be the first one to aggro, so we'll just grab him real quick and pull him down here, away from his buddy. And these guys can be R1 spammed. They don't have any poise or anything, so R1 spam them. They can't really handle it. And then backstab this guy, or just beat him up. He doesn't have any poise either, so you can just kind of waylay him as long as he's not blocking. And you can take him out really easy. Now, after we light this, or put out this very first flame here, that's going to trigger a cinematic that shows you the door in this area that you're going to want to open. So we've got to put out all 3 of those flames in order to get that door to open up completely for us. So real quick, we're going to run back here. After lighting the first one, we're going to go back down the stairs and we're going to come back here. Now here's another Dark Wraith. Just keep trying to get those backstabs. It's the easiest way to take out these Dark Wraiths, in my opinion. If you're comfortable with parrying, you could try to parry his attacks, but they swing pretty fast, and it can be a little tricky sometimes to land the parry. So just keep that in mind. Now that our poison bar there has fully depleted, we're actually going to go back this way so that we don't get poisoned. Because I don't want to be poisoned here, especially if an invader comes in, because if you're poisoned, he can actually see your health bar through walls and objects because you're taking damage. and it'll tell you, or it'll tell him exactly where you are, and you don't want that. So try not to get poisoned here. More rotten resin. I've never really used poison before on a build, so I can't recommend that personally. That's just me, though. Now, I'm probably going to get poisoned right here because I really want this Titanite shard. Okay, no, it wasn't that bad. Not that bad at all. Okay, now this guy right here is an absolute bitch because he has 2 abilities that can grab you. So we're just going to sneak up on him, backstab him, and then try to get him with a wake-up thrust attack. We didn't get it. Did it just a little bit too early. As long as you dodge his jump attack, you're good. And his forward lunging grab, which was that very first attack he tried to pull out there. He tried to lunge in and grab me, just roll out of the way. It comes out extremely fast, so just go ahead and preemptively roll just to be safe. That goat just threw poop on me, or at least tried to. Go ahead and take him down with some R1 spam. And here's the second flame. Okay, now we're halfway done with the Fair and Keep area now. Now this I recommend just running straight on through. Just go right past these 2 guys here, just serpentine through them, and go ahead and light yourself this bonfire right here. Go ahead and rest at it too. And they will completely disappear and reset. And now they're no longer aggroed on me. So we can just freely walk on through and not have to worry about a thing. Okay. So right here on the right, on the other side of this shrine, or on the inside of the shrine I should say, there is a bone shard, which is how we upgrade our Estus. Undead bone shard. And we're going this way towards this ladder. Kill these slugs. Now do be careful, sometimes these slugs will drop items, and if they do, you want to check and make sure you pick them up, because it could be Titanite, or it could be a heavy gem, or even a sharp gem sometimes. And those are extremely rare, so if you get one, then you're very, very lucky. Okay, so after we climb the ladder, we're going to run around behind this tower here. And we're going to take out this crystal lizard for a twinkling titanite. If you're using a twinkling weapon, that should be your very first piece of twinkling titanite, if I'm not mistaken. As well as behind this illusory wall right here. Just make sure you swing at it, or kick it, or do whatever you gotta do. Just hit it, make it disappear. And we're grabbing the Dream Chaser's Ashes. Those will allow you to now purchase regular Titanite shards. So we can get any weapon in our inventory now up to +3 without having to farm materials. All we got to do is go to the Shrine Handmaiden, give her those ashes, and then we can purchase Titanite. No problem at all. Okay. Now up here, we're going to want a resin. Doesn't matter what kind. I'm going to use dark because not many things are weak to dark, so I'll just go ahead and get those used and out of the way. But we are going to kill this stray demon. This is actually the tutorial boss to Dark Souls 1. It's just so far in the future, he's basically turned to stone and all of his fire's gone out. So we're just going to beat the hell out of him. Watch his tail, though. Whoops, I rolled too early. As long as you just attack and then roll, attack and then roll, you should be fine. Just don't stay too far away from this boss. He's actually a lot easier to fight if you're right up on him. If he jumps into the air, though, or does that tail attack, though, make sure you get away from him, because you don't want to get hit. Especially his butt slam, like right here. He jumps, get away, so the AoE doesn't get you, and then rush back in. Take him down. Okay. And he gives you the soul of a stray demon, as well as this body here, giving you the Great Axe, which is an insanely powerful but kind of slow strength weapon. So if you're doing a strength build, highly recommend checking that axe out. It's pretty good, but it's pretty heavy, so it's got its ups and downs. It's not got a lot of range either, but the damage kind of makes up for the range, so I like it. It's all right. It's not top tier or anything, but it's decent enough. Okay, so instead of going back down the elevator, you can actually come over here, and right above where the elevator was, we can drop onto this and go over here. Little secret area. And this will take us over here to the bridge. Now, over there, across the bridge, on the other side of that dead dragon right there, that's where we actually got Yoel of Londor earlier. So right across this bridge is actually the undead settlement. It's right up there. That bonfire is literally at the top of that right-hand spire right there above my character's head. So the whole world's basically like interconnected. You just gotta like look around and kind of see, and you'll actually be able to notice that a lot of the places that you visit, you'll be able to see from other areas in the game, which I've always thought was pretty cool. I do wish that a little bit more of the world was interconnected than it is, like kind of like Dark Souls 1, but it's good enough, I guess. Now, this right here will be our second or third heavy gem. Kill that crystal lizard. He drops the heavy gem. And we got the 2 crystal lizards down below, which both dropped us large titanite. Now, the large titanite will get your weapons up to +6. So now we can level up one of our weapons one more time to be a +4 instead of +3. So we'll probably go ahead and probably do this straight sword, to be honest, because it's such a solid weapon. But anyway, we can go back down to the bonfire now. And back down towards the swamp. That's all that's up here. I'm gonna go rest at this bonfire. Not that I need to, but we'll go ahead and do it just because. And we're gonna switch to the Brigand Twin Daggers we picked up earlier because they have an ability while dual wielding them called Quick Step. And that's going to allow us to quickly get through this deeper swamp water, because if you're not using a quick step, the swamp slows you down exponentially. Maybe one of these guys will drop us a heavy gem or something here. Nope, nothing. Alright, see how that makes the water makes me like really slow right here? So what we're going to do is we're going to just use our weapon art on these daggers and quick step our way right on over here. We are going to get poisoned here, but honestly, no matter what you do in this area, you're going to get poisoned either way. So, try not to worry about it too much. Just come over here and get ready to be invaded. Alright, well, Hazel didn't have that. He was not having that backstab at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to buff up with Dark. Oh shit, I don't want to get cursed. Wait, where did Hazel go? There he is. Ooh, that magic does a lot of damage. Hazel early game can be a very big pain in the ass to a lot of players just because of his spam. He has crossbow bolts, he has magic, he does a ton of physical damage with that weapon early game because you don't have any magical resistance. Like, he can be a real bitch, but take your time, try to get him one-on-one, and basically just stay glued to him. That's your best strat. Alright, while we're still poisoned here, I'm going to go ahead and pop my last human resin just to help kill this larger goat enemy here, just to make things ever so slightly easier. Because these guys can be a big pain in the ass. I thought I could sneak up on him, but that's not the case, apparently. You can use that jump to bait out a quick and easy backstab if you just follow him and walk behind him as he hits the ground. That's a really good strat for taking those guys down. And the final flame is right here. Alrighty. Now, we'll just head back the way we came so that we can avoid the giant tree men. The Gru Elders, I think they're called. Don't want to have to fight those guys. They're a pain in the ass. But we can use our quick step daggers here to go ahead and slide through the poison. And we've got one more pit stop to make before we head back. We got to go over here to the right. Grab the repair powders here. And then inside this cave back here, there's a couple items. We're going to get the Golden Scroll and Dusk's Armor from Dark Souls 1. The antiquated dress. Now, the Crown of Dusk is in this area, but it's not over here. So if we want to get the full set, we've got to actually go over to where the giant is protecting one of his trees. But since he's befriended us, he shouldn't shoot at us. He should shoot at any enemies that are near us over here. So that's actually really useful. We're going to go ahead and go over here, though. Just in case someone wants it, I'm going to show you there is the armor set right here of the original Dark Souls 1 Knight class. It's called the Nameless Knight Armor. It's not super good, but if you're in it for the nostalgia's sake, you might want that armor. Now let's go ahead and make our way back over here to this Farron Keep Ruins bonfire. Just in case something goes horribly wrong over here, we'll just rest right here to get a quick and easy checkpoint. That way we don't have to slide all the way back down the ladder if we die. I don't plan on dying, though, but you never know. Shit happens. If there's one thing you'll learn about Dark Souls is that you will die, and it's going to happen, and you can't get mad about it because it's just going to happen. You just have to accept that. Like, it is going to happen. You are going to die. Alright, so we're going to grab that Titanite. Now let's take out these goat men so they don't come up behind us. Okay, that crab is going to attack us. But what we want is to get over there next to that white tree. Now by doing this, this will aggro the giant. Now the giant will shoot the crab. When the giant shoots the crab, walk up to the crab's face, and you can get a free critical attack right on his face. And then just wait for another shot. I don't think I was close enough. Yep, I was moving just a little bit too slow, but the crab is now dead because of the giant, so he protected us. And we'll go ahead and grab the Crown of Dusk right here. Now, if you're on a wizard build, like an intelligence build, the Crown of Dusk will boost all of your magic damage on all your weapons and your spells by, I think, 20%. So it's pretty good, but it has a downside. It also makes you incredibly, incredibly weak to magic attacks. So it's definitely something that's a little risky to use, but the damage you get from it is insanely decent. I highly recommend it, honestly. The damage is not super bad unless you're fighting another mage or wizard. So as long as you're not wearing it during the Aldrich boss fight or the Crystal Sage, you should be 100% fine. Now I'm going to run up here and kill this guy just so I can hope that he gives me his staff. He did not drop his staff. Okay. Well, it was worth a try. Now we'll keep running up here. We're going to let these two dark wraiths right here just kind of move up the hill a little ways. so that we don't aggro them. No sense in fighting them right now unless you just want their sword or their armor. Their sword's really good, straight sword, for a strength build, but honestly, the moveset of it is just ever so slightly different, that I still recommend using the sword that we're wielding and just putting a heavy gem on it, because the dark sword is more powerful by like maybe 20-30 points, but it doesn't have a thrusting attack, so that thrust that you're not getting on the this long sword is just, I don't know. To me, the thrust makes this sword as good as it is. Because in PvP, you can roll catch people after a 2-hit combo with a good old thrust attack. Well, I hit him with the parry animation, or with the backstab animation and everything, and it didn't even give me a backstab. Don't know what's up with that. Oh yeah, I didn't go get the, I didn't get the Sage's scroll. Not that I need it, but I was going to show you guys where it is, just in case. Go ahead and knock him out until he's ready for a riposte. Go ahead and go around to his head and get the kill. He drops 2 more Titanite scales for us, and this door opens up a shortcut back to the Black Knight, where we were earlier. So now that leads to Crucifixion Woods. So we have now tied this whole area in, and it's now connected. Now, what to do next? Well, most people would probably assume that since we've gotten this far, we're probably going to go fight the Abyss Watchers, but I'm actually not going to do that. We're going to do that a little bit later on, once we are just ever so slightly more prepared, and we're actually going to head to Firelink Shrine. And there's 2 reasons for doing that. One is upgrading, and the other is leveling up, and possibly purchasing items from the Handmaiden when we give her these ashes. So let's go ahead and go to her and hit sell. And we'll sell all of our souls real quick. I'm going to sell the soul of a stray demon as well, which gives us 20,000 souls. So now we've got a hefty, hefty sum of souls on us now. I'm also going to sell the fire gem and the raw gem because I do not need them. And lightning spear because it's kind of terrible. And I'm going to sell any weapons that I'm not going to use. Oh, excuse me. I'm not going to use any of these, so I might as well just get rid of them. Now, if it's something I think I might use, or one of my friends may want to use in the future, I probably will keep it. But anything I know for 100% certain I am never going to use, we'll go ahead and just sell. Now, after selling all of our garbage, we should probably go level up at the blacksmith. Yep, looks like that's everything. Oh wait, let's actually give her those ashes real quick. Alright, now we can buy a regular Titanite. Let's go ahead and buy 3 so that we can fully level something up. And I already think I'm going to do the partisan, to be honest. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. And we're also going to make our sword, now that we have 2 large Titanite, a +4. And drop the rest of these into the partisan. And I think we're good. So we'll give him the coal of the Sage's Coal that we got from Fair and Swamp. And reinforce our Estus, since we did get an Estus shard. Now, let's see about infusal. Okay, I cannot infuse sharp yet. I still need a sharp gem, so that's okay for now. Okay, now we have 9 Estus, and we're going to level up. We're going to take our health up. Let's go to 25, and then we'll put the rest into Dex for just a little bit more damage. Actually, I'm going to sell one of the embers I have, just so. Oh, whoops, wrong section there. Let's sell 1 ember for 1,000. And I'm going to go down here real quick, and we're going to speak to Yuria of Londor.
Son.
Okay, here she has a ring called the Untrue Dark Ring. We're going to buy that.
Till we meet again.
And then immediately go over here and talk to Grey Rat, who will give us a new emote since we gave him Loretta's Bone. And now we need to Homeward Bone back to this shrine. So just Homeward Bone to the shrine to completely reset the area. Alrighty. Now that we've reset the area, we're going to talk to her.
I have since, for what I too, I hear, if I can be blessing of... If you bless...
Okay. Now that she has done that for us, we can now summon her in Irithyll later on and get the cat ring. And we can now talk to this guy
Might as well.
and ask him to go pillage.
Thank you. Grey rat until I ended up rotting.
If you want to purchase anything from him, do it now, because he will leave until you kill the next boss that you kill. So just keep that in mind. He will not come back until you kill a boss. Now, we're going to check out my armor, and we're going to see what all here has the highest magic defense that I have. You don't have to do this by any means, but if you do, it will help fight the next boss. Just put on whatever you have for the highest magic defense. Nothing else matters, just magic. The physical doesn't really matter. Okay, so that's the best stuff we have as of now. I'm going to take off my Curse Bite ring, go ahead and put on the Untrue Dark, just so I don't look like a zombie. And the the Blood Bite ring, I mean, is not even super good, so it doesn't truly matter. Now, we're going to head back to the Crucifixion Woods. And over here, where we were dealing with that invader earlier, we can now go ahead and just do what we were originally going to do here. And just run on up here. Go straight over here, and we're going to hang a left. If you are a sorcerer, and you're going to be using intelligence and spells, speak to this guy right here, and go ahead and send him back to Firelink Shrine. If you're not a sorcerer, you could wait and get him later. That way he doesn't disappear. Got blue bug pellets from right there. We're going to go ahead and put those on my belt here so that we can use them in battle. Make our way up here and enter the boss room. Now, the Crystal Sage is not super difficult, but he can be a little tricky, so you want to be careful. So what I recommend is we're going to apply a resin. I have gold bundles right now, so those are probably going to be the best thing I have. So let's go ahead and eat a blue bug pellet, which will increase my magic defenses. Got him 3 times before I was staggered, so that's not too bad, but it could have been a little better. Alright, that's 5 hits. I'm pretty sure he's going to go phase 2 right now, but if not, he will instantly teleport as soon as he appears. So we want to get as much damage as possible before he teleports. Okay, now he's in phase 2. And he's almost dead already because we've got a +4 weapon before fighting him. In phase 2, he duplicates. And only the one that shoots purple magic is the one that can be damaged. So we got to find the purple magic one. He's back here. Take him down. The rest will disappear. And that boss is done. Now, I'm going to go ahead and swap back to our original armor set. I'm actually thinking I might wear some of this armor, actually, for a little bit. Oh, excuse me, guys. Yeah, we'll just put on something different. I've never even worn this stuff before. I don't like the helmet, though, so we're going to use the Lothric Knight helm. And if you guys are using twinkling weapons, there's a piece of twinkling right there on the lizard. And there's a piece of twinkling right here on this lizard. Now, this area, you cannot summon in, so if you're trying to play this cooperatively with your friends, you can't summon here. They have to run through this part by themselves. All the way up to the, not the next bonfire, but the bonfire after that. So just tell them to run on over here. You guys just run past all those enemies. There's no real reason to fight them. And go ahead and light this fire here. This one's called the Cathedral of the Deep. And you can't summon any help until you get to the Cleansing Chapel. So we're going to have to get to that next fire. But first, we've got to take this guy out so that we can get to the ashes he's protecting. So let's get a free... Oh, he kicked me out of my attack. That sucks. This guy can be parried fairly easy, but he's also pretty smart, so don't underestimate this guy. Oh, I thought he was doing the other attack, so I went for a parry. Well, damn. Oh, I'm really surprised that hit me. I hit the parry button to block that kukri, and I don't know why, but it worked. And we get the Paladin's Ashes. That will unlock the best poise talisman in the entire game. So if you're on a faith build, make sure you kill him and grab that. Now, there's two things you could do. You could go up there and kill that guy and get his stuff, but we're actually going to run over here first, to the right. And we're going to drop down right here, which will lead you up here to the very best dark defense shield in the entire game, I think. I'm pretty sure there's no other shield that has dark defense this high. And it's the original Crest Shield from Oscar of Astora from Dark Souls 1. So a lot of people really like this shield. I don't see many people using it, though. I think it's so well hidden up here that most people just walk right past it. But I'm going to go ahead and take off my equipment here and put on my charcoal resin because I'm going to need it. And I don't have any fire bombs. If you guys are coming to this area and you've got like maybe 2,000-3,000 extra souls, go ahead and buy some fire bombs. You will not regret it, and they are very useful later on. Now, anyone who's following along and using this as a guide, you might want to actually put more points into your endurance so that you have slightly more stamina. I'm used to playing more passively, I guess. Like, I play a very reactionary play style. I don't try to be hyper-aggressive or do too much. So I don't need a ton of stamina. But if you guys feel like you're super struggling and just want a little bit more stamina, you can't go wrong with bumping that up to like 15 or 20 early game. Especially if you're going to use a big weapon. If you're not going to use a big weapon, though, I don't recommend putting too many points into it because it's kind of unnecessary. But that's completely up to you and your playstyle. So you do you. Do what feels best. That's key. Okay. So now... Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I just realized we've entered an entirely new area. Guys, we're going to go ahead and call this episode here. We've completed Fair and Keep and the Crucifixion Wood and the Road of Sacrifices. all in one video. So now we will continue on. The next episode, we'll be heading towards the Cathedral of the Deep. We're going to totally explore this place and open it up and see what all they got hiding in here and show you all the little secrets. And a lady NPC that you can give your pale tongues to, if you guys still have your pale tongues right here. You can give her your pale tongues to respec your attributes. So if you've accidentally put points somewhere you didn't mean to, I'm going to show you guys how to respec in the next episode. So yeah, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to see the next series of content, and I will see you guys then.